Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the third round of the Zoom Racing League here in Division 3. We are at Portimao in Portugal in the Algarve, and I'm joined in the commentating booth with the one and only Freddie Rizal. Fred, how are you doing today?
I am excited to be back in the booth. We've had 2 weeks off from ZRL League Racing. Can't wait to be back. Division 3, very exciting this season. New faces, new or old people, I'd say. People coming back from retirement. Joel Guron. We've got to love to see it. And I mean, I'm back in the booth with you. It's been a long while.
Yeah, it certainly has. I took a couple weeks off, but I'm back now, and I'm ready to commentate. I'm ready to race tomorrow night. I'm super excited to see what kind of excitement E3 has in store for us. Just gonna get all the telemetry and lap data pulled up. We'll see our first driver. Who's
It's
actually,
Tuesday.
what was that?
Yes. Looks
Oh,
like
Tuesday?
Tuesday's just starting a lap now on the mediums. So, quite strange to be on the mediums. I mean, this is. Well, Codemasters added mediums like in quali recently into the game. So, I wonder if like full quali is going to be the same in last season, or maybe people will keep the second set of mediums for the race so they don't get any tyre wear.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Tuesday's just really confident in his ability to get through to Q2 on the medium tire so that he has an extra set of softs. And even then, I think the 3 laps for the in, out, and hot lap won't be too much on the tire wear, where it'll still be a viable option in the race if he needs that second set of mediums.
Absolutely. He's actually going for 2 laps, I'm pretty sure.
He's got a bit of traffic in the way.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to have impaired him.
Yeah, but he's not actually on a lap, so I don't think it really matters. I don't think he'll care as long as he doesn't get any traffic. He's just going for 2 warm-up laps that loads of people are recently doing. I'm pretty sure it's a Joel Guron tech. Well, he definitely told me about it, and it does work, but in the long run, probably not. But yeah, he's still not got his ERS on, so I'm guessing he's actually forgot.
Yeah, probably we'll move on to Adav, who looks like he's about to be finishing his lap as Dan sets a 1:18.4. Great lap from him in the Mercedes. See what Adav can set.
Adav,
P2.
Yeah, so an 18.4 for a banker in Q1, that will definitely get into Q3.
Oh, 100%.
Q3, Q2, in my opinion. Especially in D3, I mean, D1 you probably see around a 17.1, so that's a big difference compared
There
to
goes Nathan
2
Doan.
divisions.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nathan Doan, 3/10. Great lap from him in Q1. He can probably just sit into the pits for the rest of the session.
Yeah, I'm on board with Seb now, coming down to the starting sector 3, coming down into the long right-hander, 4th gear, full throttle. Now coming down to the line, keeping it nice and tidy. And this will probably be top 5. Second. So once again, another good lap.
Definitely a great lap. We haven't seen either of the Red Bulls start a lap yet, except Ranger actually has just crossed the starting line. So let's ride on board with him for this lap, see what he can do. Ranger was Duncan McCormick's first pick, the first overall pick in this draft for Division 3. So a little bit of pressure on him to live up to that hype. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, Ranger not having the best start of season, although I will get moaned at by Ethan Patel saying it's the start of the season. But you always want to see that number 1 pick always like to get off with a bang, like to start off with. Ranger I think he actually won Brazil, getting P1 after penalties, and then having a really rough day at Abu Dhabi.
Well, you say that, but John Ranger's actually in 3rd in the driver's standings, only
that's
1 point behind leader Nathan Doan, and Simon Colston in second, also tied with Nathan for 58 points.
Absolutely. Looks like we've got a Haas coming to the line. Is that Tuesday again? He's actually used his battery this time. 19.5 for mediums.
There goes Ranger with the 118 flat, only 0.03 of a second faster than Nathan Doan. So great times from both of those two. As the other Red Bull crosses the line, it goes up to P6.
Yeah, so Duncan, it's probably Duncan driving just on his Xbox account right now, just using no assists, so he can get extra points in for his Red Bull team. But this Duncan, he's actually showed some decent pace from what I thought. Normally, well, in my eyes anyway, I always see Xbox drivers like dirty.
Yeah.
Just from my experience from 5 lappers. No, Duncan's been quite a surprise, in my opinion.
Yeah, at the start of the draft, Duncan was a bit of an unknown. Not a lot of us have seen him before, but he's proved to be a very good driver. So really good eye from Duncan Mechanic to draft him.
Absolutely. Joel Curran coming down to the line, P15 currently. But he's going to be around the 119s, 119.2 as a P10 for the moment. Not a really good lap for the Aston Martin team principal. Cushy comes to the line, goes to P10, knocking Joel down to P11. But both of them are still at the risk. We still have another 10 minutes left, so I won't be surprised if they go for another run.
4 drivers still yet to set a lap. 3 of them out on track at the moment. Notorious Shelley still in the pits in the Aston Martin. As I'm riding on board with Marino, who's just started his lap.
I'm just really confused what Tuesday's doing right now. He's been out since the start.
Maybe he knows something mediums. We don't. As Marino's invalidated his lap, so he's gonna maybe have to come in for another set of softs. We'll see.
Yeah, he's actually, from what I saw in the chat earlier, he's actually ill, so that could maybe put a performance onto it. But we all know Marino, and for some reason, his one lap pace is really strong. And then when it comes to a race, he either makes his own mistakes or he is tangled up with other drivers, which you don't want to see. But he is Italian, so it's all fine.
Right. Yeah, no, his one lap pace is very strong. I mean, he's always started the season very strong as well. Maybe a little bit of a drop off as the season goes on, but we know what Marino is capable of, and I'm sure he's not sweating it too much. I think he'll be able to just throw in a new set of softs, possibly, maybe even use the same set, and probably comfortably make it to Q2.
Yeah, Simon Colston coming down to Sector 2, 53.1 in Sector. It looks like he's got fastest Sector 2 at the moment, but I don't think that is the actual fastest sector at the moment. But Simon's been a really good pick for McLaren in a way. Definitely one of my top 5 drivers at the moment. Definitely showing where he belongs. Probably not Division 3, maybe. He's definitely Division 2 pace. He can definitely fight up there. But P9 actually at the moment. I'm quite surprised about that, but that would possibly keep him in. I'd say around the 18.8 will keep you in for Q2.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable estimate. Yeah, man. Fred, you're actually probably right.
Yeah, so whenever I'm right, it's always when I'm ill, and I'm currently ill right now. So whatever I say next, it's going to be right. And what is going to be right is what Yote's got a fastest Sector 2. He's 4 temps up right now on his current time. So at the moment, this will put him around top 5, maybe P3 if he's lucky.
It was off the track, Woodioke, but seems to have not invalidated.
This actually looks like a really good lap coming through.
Yeah, it was P3. Great lap from Woodioke to go.
And it looks like that was his second set of tyres, so that'll be him done for Q1, hopefully.
Definitely
his teammate coming out to the pits now. on fresh sauce.
I've just noticed Marino has set his lap time on the same set of softs in a 1:18.8. So if you take the wear that those tires had, if you take that into consideration, Marino could probably crack this top 10 pretty easily, maybe even top 7.
Offload Trace coming to the line 6 times quicker, but it's not going to be enough to put him out of that drop zone. So he'll have to come around to the pits and do another lap. Notorious Jelly showed an outstanding pace in Abu Dhabi 2 weeks ago. He's currently P17, a reserve for Aston Martin now. It looks like one of Joel's drivers cannot make it. I think it's Spanini's not here today. So looks like Joel's got to carry Aston Martin for Division 3.
Yeah, I'd actually just noticed Notorious Jelly on his last lap had actually forgot to turn on his ERS deploy, so that serves a little bit of an explanation as to why his lap time wasn't quite there. As there we go, now he's moved up to P15, almost a second slower, so probably remembered to turn on that ERS.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of
on a lap right now.
I was gonna say this draft order, like how the draft was dealt with. It's been actually quite reasonable. You get a lot of teams that are quite split apart from their first drivers, second drivers in the lower divisions. So
yeah, I mean that was the plan, to make all the teams closer together if we could, and I think it's worked. You're seeing more variation in winners, in points or traditional point scorers, and I think it's really refreshing to see. Team principal I'd like to shout out is Sid. I think he's done an excellent job with McLaren so far. I want to say they're 5th in combined constructors.
Well, they're
sixth.
around there.
Sorry, 6th.
Yeah, 6th.
But when I believe McLaren was 8th last season, maybe 9th. Super impressive bounce back so far. At least it is only the start of the season, but who knows?
Definitely, he's definitely turned that garage around. Last season they just looked. I mean, the season before, season 4 actually, they were P4 in the standings. You see what I did there? I said four times. Not sure if you caught that. Yeah, so McLaren P4 in the constructor standings. And then last season they were P8. That was a drop for them. They definitely had really quick drivers, but I think they had a lot of attendance issues, which definitely dropped them so low. And now Sis took that responsibility to bring that team right back up where they should be. And really good job for that team and Sid especially.
Yeah, totally. And I'm seeing Ranger is on an outlap on the medium tires. I wonder what that's for.
Classic Red Bull strategists. Yeah, I'm guessing that was an Ethan Patel call. There's no way it's not someone else. And was that Tuesday that just put in a lap? Yeah, Tuesday, P8.
About to watch Simon Colston come across the line, and he goes onto first. I'm about to say pole, but he goes into that first place position for Q1, so he's definitely going to be safe. But the gap between our top 3 drivers is so small.
Oh, I'm not sure if you're seeing it. I see raindrops.
I think you might be right. It is. It's getting quite a bit
darker.
cloudy, yeah.
I can see, yeah, it's raining. It's wow.
Very interesting.
I'm gonna actually ask if anyone's actually got the
forecast. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder what setups these guys are running.
Definitely raining. So people in that bottom 5 who haven't gone out yet, they need to get out as soon as possible if they want any chance of making it to Q2.
So we've got Kaseb in
You
the
see a Dow go
chat
around
right
in the
now.
tricky conditions.
I was going to say, Kaseb in the chat saying, does Ranger know that he does not start on Q2 tyres?
Maybe he doesn't, but I'm not going to be the one to tell him.
So this race is going to be interesting, Peter. I've got confirmation. It's mixed conditions, quali and race.
That's excellent. I love to hear that. I
I
think
love to
this
see that.
makes for such exciting racing. I think full dry can be nice. Full wet can be a little boring. But mixed conditions, it really always provides entertainment.
Got Duncan Mechanic in the chat. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'd heard that we need some meteorologist reports, so I got some of that for you guys here. Definitely looking like we're gonna see some on and off rain. It looks inconsistent on the telemetry at the moment, or on the radars. So we'll see. We'll be seeing rain come in and out of qualifying throughout the next two sessions as well as the race is actually showing rain, starting with heavy rain halfway through, light rain at the end, but dry start. So super interesting conditions. Of course, we use approximate weather in Zoom Racing League, so none of this is guaranteed. But I know over at the Red Bull Garage, it's already started with some setup creativity and some trial and error things. As you see, we got Ranger out on medium tires at the moment just to sort of do some experimenting.
Very interesting.
I was just gonna say, what kind of setup are you running? Are you running like rain wet, rain dry, or are you running a mix of both?
I don't want to say too much, but I
You
think
got to
there's
say it.
no. I think that there will be teams just looking at sector times. I think there's teams that are running high downforce. If you can see the sector one times, there's really high variations from people are running 22.2s, and then we got people running 22.7s. So, and that's just a straightaway. So, definitely differences in downforce. We got some drivers who've opted with the high downforce setups, and then you see people who are running low downforce setups with those crazy straight line speeds. And it's gonna be interesting to see what the weather actually does for us when the race happens. And I don't know. It's in every garage they're gonna have to make the decision if they want to go with more of a wet setup or if they're going to want to go with more of a dry setup. And I'll say this, we've left it up to drivers' decision over at Red Bull, but we have gave our drivers both options in case that they wanted them.
Nice, nice. So what are you looking for from your drivers today? You looking for double podium, win and podium? What do you expect?
Yeah, we've actually taken a little bit of time this week at Red Bull and come up with some guidelines for what we think it'll take to come out with a win in Division 3. We're really happy with where we're at right now. Ranger is in a really good spot, and I think that there's a really good chance for him to win this week. He's got a lot of pace. Obviously, we've got a lot of respect for some of our competitors out there. Simon and Nathan have put up good qualifying times as well already. And then some other guys that are sleepers on the board. Seb had good pace last week. So I think Ranger definitely should be on for a podium. And Duncan, sorry, he should be. I don't know. I'd love to see him in the top 10. If we can just consistently get better than 12th, I think that'd be our goal for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds about right.
You always want your driver to be higher up than their draft pick was, so definitely the right call. All right, thank you, Duncan. You got anything else to add before
Oh,
we
it
head
should
out?
be a good race. It's gonna be really exciting. Should be fun to cast in the booth. So
Go Haas.
yeah, good luck. See you guys.
So yeah, we have full drivers out right now. We have a mixture of, well, we actually have 4 different teams with at least one driver out. We have Alfa Romeo, Williams, Alpine, and Aston Martin. Aston Martin definitely did not want to see that, especially for a reserve driver. Not that it's the reserve's fault, but the team's already got they're getting half points at the end of the race, so they want as much points as possible.
Sorry, I've just completely spaced out. My apologies. You're saying
Never mind.
reserves and half points? Yes. You definitely do want to get as many points from your reserves as you can. I know from experience, having missed the first 2 weeks myself, I I entrusted Eruption to fill in for me and get as many points as he could, and I'm pretty happy overall with what he was able to achieve. But even then, like you take let's say a win for example, you divide the points in half, and it's only 18 points. So
Absolutely.
you really can't have your drivers miss too many races.
Yeah, so starting Q2, it actually looks like it's into weather just from a pit lane. And Seb's coming out from his pits right now, and he's on the intermediates.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be seeing a lot of drivers running as many laps as they can just to get a feel for the track.
So yeah, it's definitely into. It's just coming out of the driver's POV. This will be interesting.
Totally. I think intermediate conditions are probably my favorite conditions. Full wet is just very dicey. And dry, it's a little boring. But intermediate is really that mix of yeah, it's slippery, but you also get a little bit of grip. And I think it's really fun and separates a lot of the drivers from what you're used to seeing.
100%. So I wonder if it will be full wets at the end, or it may go back to dries. As people were saying, it's just mixed weather, so we can't tell.
Yeah, actually, do you remember what did Duncan say? How the weather was going
Um,
to go in quali?
so
I know he
he
said in
said
the
something.
race.
He said it's going to be full wets in the race, and then it was just dry out. Uh, Later on, but in quaddy he said it's going to be mixed, so it's going to be whatever. It can be a rainy, it can be dry, it can even be I don't know. What other weathers are there? Tornado.
Yeah, there
That's
you
what a yoke on a lap right now, coming down to turn 4. I easily validated, but traction is going to be hard
go. Yeah, definitely.
in the
I'm bored with
inters.
Seb coming out of turn 3, just watching how gingerly he gets on the power. Really doesn't want to spin those tires, especially while he's just you know, taking his time to learn the track. He can run multiple laps in a row on the intermediates or on wet tires and wet conditions. And yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. So you
I
do really
I
want to start out being careful.
I do have confirmation what the weather is exactly going to be like right now. It's going to be lightning in 10 minutes, so it is going to get heavier. And then around 20 minutes time, it will be dry.
Interesting.
Cloudy.
So we might see some dry weather at the end of Q3.
I'm coasting in the wall down to turn 6, looks like. I don't think he's got wing damage, so he's A-OK. There is a Alfa Romeo or Leo Kreis coming to the line, 128, followed up by Tuesday, 126.9, 2 seconds quicker than the Alfa Romeo driver already.
Seb has invalidated on the exit of the very last turn.
Yeah, so you can't. It looks like you can't go for 2 runs anymore, like
Maybe
previous
not.
game.
Maybe with the ERS it doesn't work out. I know this track definitely drains a lot of ERS. So, yeah, possibly not.
Down with the 21.1, fastest sector 3, but he is currently P6 with the slowest time until Marino gets the slowest time, 29.3. Coming to the line is Rigrath, your second driver. He's definitely a sleeper, I'd say, for this season for what position he was in the draft. So that's a really good pick.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Really, I really do seek your validation, Fred. So it's nice to hear you say that.
You're welcome. You know what? I think we've had Red Bull on the top step in this league for ages. I just want to see a change.
I completely agree.
We've seen so much Duncan showing off Red Bull 24/7, and it's just got to a point where, like, you know what, we don't care. We want someone else to win,
Yeah.
even if it's Williams.
I don't care. I just want it to be exciting and I like to have fun. That's what this is about.
Never exciting when you see that on the top step, especially Ethan Patel.
Ooh. Hear that, Ethan? That's crazy.
I'm joking,
I
Ethan. We all
wouldn't-
love
I
you.
wouldn't tolerate that.
Joel is now starting a lap, looks like. Invalidated his first lap, but we'll ignore that. He's going for a second. 9 minutes left on the clock. Currently P5, that's quite decent for him. Anyway, he actually qualified really... he qualified amazing in Abu Dhabi. Whether, I can't really remember where he finished, but he's got some pace in that car.
Joe Goran definitely an extremely good wet driver.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, definitely
completely forgot
one of the
about it.
best in the league, possibly in the way.
As he's doing no line, it's going to change.
Yeah, it can definitely get a bit dodgy.
I think what, Yoke's coming to a line?
Yep.
See what time he'll put up. 29.6, so he'll be going again, hopefully.
I believe Seb is next across the line. Oh, and yeah, Seb has gone up to 10th.
Yeah, so Mercedes, right, they're a bit of a weird one this season. They've been dropping and dropping each season as it's going. Rivas is now out of a team principal spot. Brung in Luke, who I don't think anyone would have thought him being as a Mercedes team principal, but he is now, which is exciting to see. But in each division, Mercedes is just weird. Like, they've got one good division, then they've got the other, and then, like, there's at least one division where they do good, and the next week they do bad. Like, it's so inconsistent. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it can happen. I mean, I think in Division 3, they have a very good lineup in Seb and Dan.
Yeah.
I believe in Division 4 they also have a very good lineup with
Division 4,
Big
yeah.
Elbro and Arrow.
We didn't see much from them yesterday either.
Yeah, that's the thing. There can be good and bad weekends. I think,
Yeah.
honestly, I'd say all across the board, Mercedes does have a pretty good lineup, but some bad luck here and there, and you know that could really be it for the season. You know, there's only so much bad luck you can take before it becomes you know, really detrimental to your title ambitions.
Problem, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan's been unlucky at the start of the season anyway. I mean, I was quite surprised when he was picked for Mercedes, peak 14. I don't think last season he really showed he should be in that seat, but everyone sees different things. Luke's obviously seen different. I respect it. But once again, retiring in Brazil, I think he actually retired in Abu Dhabi as well. So I think Luke definitely wants to see something come out of Dan the next few races at least. And I am going to be honest, I think it's full wets.
Yeah, it does look like it's raining quite a bit harder. We have puddles forming around the track. So, and I'm on board with Ranger right now, and he is just getting no grip whatsoever. Really, he's
I didn't even
really
see
struggling.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ranger is P15, and that's going to be quite a. If he's in the championship fight right now, that's going to hurt him so much. As
Definitely.
yeah, he's just got no grip out there. You can just see it off his onboard. We have what Yoke P14. Well, he's got incredible one lap pace. Well, both Hasses do, of what I've been seeing. But their race craft, their race pace needs to be stepped up a level. The next few races.
Let's see what kind of lap time Ranger can put in. It'll give us a nice gauge of what the weather is looking like.
Yeah, it's just getting heavier. That's a 132, 131.
That's almost a 132. That's really just it's wet. It's very wet out there because you have a guy like Ranger who's really quick. To be 15th, it doesn't add up. But then you take a look at the weather and yeah, not looking good. It looks like everyone is in the pits except for himself and Dan. But
he's 110 up, 110th up.
Yeah, I
which
believe
is
this
improving at least.
This might be the order for Q2. Look at that, just no traction out of turn 5.
It's sad to see, but looks like Tuesday's P1 at the end. What's it called at the moment? Probably going to stay P1. This is a really weird top 10 if it stays like this.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm not gonna. I would not think Duncan, Cushy, Fitz possibly would be in the top 10. Maybe Tuesday, honestly.
Well, Tuesday's very quick driver, yeah. But again, I think that's just the benefit of the new draft. You see a lot of these guys in we'll say lower teams really stepping it up and taking it to the field. And that's also the effect of a new season. I feel like with a new season, people get more motivation and really they step up their games.
Right, the rain does look like it is dropping a little bit, but I mean, it might be just be my eyes, but the puddles are still there. I don't think Ranger's on a lap, as it seems. Look, he's trying to get as much air as he can for his final run. But I think this will be it for him. P15, I don't see any improvement.
Yeah, and unless...
what yokes on wets? So that just says it. And Ranger's span.
Yeah, unless the weather's gonna magically become more dry. I don't see this grid order moving, as Nathan Dunn's already retired. So
yeah, Dan's on a lap right now on Inters on his final run. Hopefully we don't see an improvement for him. But yeah, he's going slow. This is the end for him. He knows it. What a yoke is still going to try, but really no point. So Rangers now coming to the line. Got no ERS. Leo Krat is retiring. He knows it too. Marino has span on his outlap. And what a yoke is 5 tenths down. So this is it. And because that's it, I'm going to go for a drink.
There you go, Fred. You deserve it. So yeah, this is gonna be your grid order. Sorry, not your grid order, but your list of drivers going on to Q2. Unfortunately, we're going to be saying goodbye to Dan, Leocritus, Marino, What a Yoke, and Ranger. Ranger, especially in that P15 spot, I think we're definitely going to get some exciting racing in the main event from him trying to cut through the field. Definitely Rangers wanting to go for that driver's title and the constructor's title, of course. But for himself, he wants that driver's trophy, and to see two of his main rivals in Nathan Doan and Simon Colston moving on to the top 10 shootout and him starting from 15th, he's definitely going to want to try to make up as much ground as he can in this race. as he spins off and actually crashes. So yeah, it looks like that's it.
We should try and get Duncan back in the booth and see what on hell happened there.
Yeah, definitely. Let's try to mention him, bring him in.
Whew. So it's going to be some exciting Q3. I've never been excited for before. Don't sound it, but once again, I am ill.
Yeah, that's all right. Uh,
Marino's doing donuts. Getting he's learned from Barney back in Japan last season.
yeah, definitely not something that you want to be doing as a driver. Possibly not the best
Oh, I
best
would love
choice.
to.
Well, when you see what happened to Barney after. So, ladies and gentlemen, Q3 going to be starting shortly. Um, just I think this is a good time to grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever you want to do. But we have Duncan Mechanic in the booth now. Duncan, surprise exit from Ranger, going to be starting from 15th. Walk us through exactly what happened.
I mean, we knew that it was going to get heavy rain. We knew he just had to get one solid lap in, and he made a really big mistake coming out of the very final corner. His time that he set would have put him P2, but not only did he invalidated next lap as well. So he invalidated his lap, and then it invalidated the coming lap as well. And he didn't have enough fuel for another lap after that, so he had to come back to the pits and put on another set of inners and try it again. But obviously, you've seen the rain picked up as we knew it would, and
Yeah.
it's a costly mistake. It's going to put him 15 for the start.
So
And
did he actually go for a lap at the start? Because I didn't clock onto that.
yeah, he went for a lap, and he was on a heater. He would have been P2 with his time. But yeah, he ran it wide, just coming out of the last corner. He said it was understeer. Um, he wasn't expecting in the wet, and just invalidated both laps. So unlucky.
So, Ranger fighting for this drivers' championship, of course, 1 point behind leader Nathan Doan and Simon Colston. Um, Starting from 15th today, that's going to be a little bit difficult, and especially with the mixed conditions race, it's always difficult to overtake in the wet. And this isn't exactly the easiest track to overtake at either. So, you expecting a big recovery from him or damage limitation?
Um, bit of both. I think that we're going to be having to do some damage limitation. Look at the big picture. We're not going to win the championship this week, but if we can just salvage some points and P15 is a rough start, just like you said, tough track to overtake, wet conditions potentially. But we've got another driver. He's in Q3 right now, and I'm excited to see how he can do. Not a whole lot of people know about him, but he's shown really good pace so far, and we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, totally. Thanks, Duncan. Fred, you got anything to ask?
No, I was just signing out. But no, I've got nothing else.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Duncan. Take care. All right,
Interesting.
Q3, the top 10 shootout. Looks like we're back on inter conditions.
So looks like Ranger might be even more angry just to see the weather being like this now. Saying, "Oh, why couldn't this be 5 minutes later
Yeah, yeah.
or earlier?" I mean,
So
we've got Duncan. Oh, Duncan's on softs.
that's very interesting. Well, he's in the pits still, so it's just waiting. Maybe
Mm.
Duncan knows it's going to be getting dry at the end, so no point going out now. Might as well just wait for the dry weather.
Yeah, it definitely does look like it's definitely going to be trying at least at the end. It's still going to be slippery. I'm going to presume. Maybe Duncan's thinking about going around the 6th minute or the 7th minute to see how dry it is. If not, just go back on inters, maybe get a banker in at least.
Yeah,
Um,
you're
as
definitely
he does switch back onto inters.
right. And even if it does dry up, you're most likely we're not going to be seeing the 118s that we saw in Q1. It'll probably be a little bit slower because the track is probably still going to be just a tiny bit slippery, even if it is dry. Currently riding on board Nathan Dillon went down to first. Sorry, Rigraph went down to first gear. Um, bit odd, but
Currently a 10th down
whatever.
on Cushy through Sector 1. And I think, who's that coming into the lot? Coming. Yeah, I think that's Seb in the Mercedes.
Come to the line, yeah, sure. See what Seb can do with his American flag helmet. Very patriotic, even though, unfortunately, the United States were knocked out of the World Cup this morning.
Thankfully. But looks like that's going to be a 25.9. So he's already beat the Q2
I was about to say, I believe the
time.
Q2 best time was a 26.9.
Yes. So that's a really good
It's cushy.
improvement. And Cushy, the 25 fours. And it stopped
Nathan,
raining.
25 too, so yeah, definitely drying. See what Rigrap
And
can do as he about to cross the line. Is fourth at the 25.9 as well.
so it stopped raining. It's still going to be wet out there, but I can promise you now, by the time everyone goes out on their final lap, there will definitely be softs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the rain stopped already. 7 minutes left. You
Honestly, you could
definitely
probably
think
go on
that it's
softs now.
yeah. Well, I don't know about now, but you definitely think by the end it's gonna be dry.
But Duncan thinks the same about me, or with me.
Sunken's still in the
Looks-
pits.
Yeah, he's moved on to the
There you go,
softs.
Roberto. Yeah, definitely drying up 25 flat by him. Great statement from McLaren to have two drivers in Q3.
Absolutely.
Really impressive from them.
Especially when one's a pick 8, one's a pick 18.
Exactly.
But Seb, the only Mercedes in Q3, Lewis Hamilton style, back in 2021, putting it on a provisional pole, 24.8, is that 2 temps? Yeah, it's around 2 temps, maybe less.
Yeah,
And
slightly
Beberto.
less.
So Joel and Duncan's now on the softs. I think they're only going to go for 1 lap.
I think you're right.
Oh,
There goes Simon
Simon.
Falston.
Oh, that's a P1, P3 McLaren now.
Yeah, really strong showing. Riding on board with Cushy 3 tenths up as he goes into turn 8.
I just pit now, to be honest. Would you not?
I think it's the track's still a bit too damp,
Yeah,
and
just look at it. It's just dry now.
well,
Like, it's
I
just
think
parts.
there's just a tiny bit of dampness on
9
that track
temps.
left. I'd stay out just for fun, to be honest. Oh yeah, maybe you could put a set of softs on and fuel up for 2 laps, but it's always difficult to take into consideration the track drying to tire wear ratio, if you will.
Joel is now out on the softs, and he's gone way too early, in my opinion.
Well, will Joel be able to get 2 laps in? If Joel can get a lap done and then quickly come back
He
in,
won't. Yeah, he won't be able to.
then maybe.
Because you need to
Well,
get
you say
out
that he's about to
before
start
that
his lap.
120.
We'll say he's about to start his lap. It's about a 1 minute 20-second lap. So we'll say he starts his lap around 4:45. And then minute 20.
Yeah, he still has to get in the
And then
pits, get
another
out of the
minute
pits.
20. So I think he'll get in the pits around 2:30. There's a
Nah,
chance, I'll say.
this will definitely be his last lap, 100%.
As
The
DRS
DRS
has
is
just
just
been enabled,
enabled.
yeah. So really lucky for Joe.
Yeah, but that was, I mean, yeah, okay.
But no, I do agree. I think it is a little bit.
You want to go out at the last minute,
Well,
right,
I would
with conditions like these?
actually at this point, what I would do if I was Joel was I'd do this lap, but I wouldn't finish it. I'd just go straight into the pits so that I have some knowledge of the grip and I have,
Yeah,
because I feel like when changing from wet to dry conditions, it takes maybe a lap or two to really remember just how much grip you have on the dry tires. So maybe he's just using this lap for information and to refamiliarize with the dry grip.
100%. So yeah, he's gonna get pole if he sticks this lap out, but he's gonna do a waiting game after this.
And let's not forget that every driver here still has plenty of sets of soft left since Q2
Yeah,
was completely wet. And yeah,
Joel's
Joel
in the
does
pits.
exactly, yeah. Really smart from Joel to do that cider lap.
Yeah, Tuesday's now on a lap with his ERS on.
Ooh, he's got to remember to turn that off.
And it's still on, which is making me depressed because that could ruin.
Definitely. If he realizes too late, that could really harm his lap.
And he has an engineer today. I wonder if he will notice.
Hopefully, yeah, there you go. He just turned it off, so they probably heard us on the broadcast. And they've told him to turn it off.
If he doesn't get a move on, he might get some traffic in that way. Potentially.
Showing him
Looks like he's
first
trying
gear,
to burn some
burning,
fuel.
yeah, burning his fuel off. I think
And here we
I don't
go.
know. I think he
Going for 2 laps, possibly.
I'm not sure where he's going.
Yeah, he's going for 2 laps.
2 outlaps. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, it looks like it anyway. But if he does not get that one lap done, then he's going to be at the back of the grid. Or
Yeah.
back of Q3. Which will be a disappointment. Oh, hold on. Oh no, Joel's just let him drives by. I thought there was a bit of an incident with a McLaren and the Aston then.
Yeah, everyone coming out at the same time, so people are definitely gonna want to leave some room for each other. This looks like one of the Ferraris. Nathan Doan is trying to get past this McLaren of Simon.
Looks
Really
like Simon
interesting.
won't let go.
Yeah, Simon does not want to let him by.
Oh, there we
there
are.
you go, he does.
And then who's this? It is Cushy. Will Cushy let him by?
Yeah,
He
because she
will.
also lets him by. Yeah, I try to do that as well. I'm not saying I told Nathan to do this, but I really don't. I don't like having to wait behind people.
Yeah, no. And I hate the people that you know you're
Oh,
trying to
jeez,
get
Nathan.
past and they just like still won't let you go.
Nathan's forgot to turn on his ERS deployment.
No.
Oh, there you go. He just
He
has.
did it around the perfect time. Try and maximise it.
We're right on board with Nathan, one of the favorites for pole. This Q3.
Listen, my poll is going to be. I want to say Simon, but then I want to go with a wild guess. I'm going to go with Duncan. Why not?
I don't know. There's so many drivers here who could get that pole position, so I'm just excited to find out, really. We'll see who will be able to get it.
It's like a really clean lap with Nathan right now.
Yeah, definitely.
4.8 seconds up from his time, so he's currently, yeah, so as he crosses the line, he will beat Cushy's time, but once again, everyone's going to beat their time.
Right.
Now Fitz is coming to the line.
The key
Putting
here.
119 flat, not good enough. Rigraph P2.
119.1.
And that's a Haas. That stopped.
Nathan with a
And
118 flat. See what Cushy behind can get done. He gets a 119.1.
This is
Simon,
Simon.
possibly invalidating his lap. Roberto about to cross the line. Goes with the
3-5.
120. Seb 118.4. Duncan with an
Here comes
18.4 as
Joe.
well. Joe Guron crossing the line. Goes
P4.
fourth. And Tuesday in the pits. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be your starting grid. Nathan Doan on pole for Ferrari by a whopping 4/10. Great lap from him. Seb in second place with the 118.4. Duncan really pulled through for Red Bull to go P3 with also a 118.4. And I've completely forgot the rest of the grid so far. Joe Guron in fourth.
Simon P5.
Yeah.
Roberto P7. Rigraph. Fitz P5.
Fitz
That's
P5.
incredible.
And then Rigraph P6. Cushy P7. Roberto P8. Simon Costone probably invalidating his lap, unfortunately, starting P9. And Tuesday, he wasn't able to get a lap done in Q3, starting from 10th on the grid.
Yeah, that was a great lap from Nathan, followed up by Seb, who couldn't really beat him, but Nathan's a quick driver. I think me and you both know him, as we both have had him. I had him in season 4, won the D3 championship
Back in the
on
day,
his own.
Back in the day when Fred was a team principal. We ever gonna see you back there as a TP?
It's definitely been on my mind. I've missed it, but I think, I don't know, I feel like I would definitely change a lot of things from what I did back in season 4, 100%. But it's a possibility. I can't lie. If the option's there, I'll look into it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Freddie Rizal interested in being a team principal. So if he ever becomes one and he tries to draft you, I'd find another league to race in.
Please don't do that. I'm very friendly when it comes to it. Oh wait, we've got 5 lights. No formation lap. I completely forgot about that. No one is going. Is that just me?
No one's going for me either. And there they go. Lights out and away we go. Nathan gets a good start. Seb as well coming alongside him. Seb gets a better start, goes up the inside to take P1. Nathan tries for a switchback, but just pulls out of it. We have 3 wide somewhere in the back. We have an Alfa Romeo around. We have Joel Guron around as well. It looks like there's been some sort of incident towards the middle of the pack. Everyone's really shifting around. And looks like we have Seb leading. Then Nathan Doan in second. And there's Rigraph around as well. And there's been contact from Cushy into the back of someone. Or maybe, what are you into the back of Cushy? There's a little bit of a kerfuffle, hard to see.
Yeah, I was on board with what Yoke definitely weren't in. Maybe the other Haas, to be honest, or maybe Duncan. I couldn't really get a good view, but there was a lot of incidents going on through that corner, and we have a battle P14, P15, range of the ex Aston Martin driver. Joe's gonna go side by side through whatever turn this is. Ranger should really get the move done as he's on the mediums, and he gets that move done clearly. Joe's going to get a bit heated after that, as he's seeing his former teammate go past him.
So after the first lap, we have Seb from Fitz Dickwell, who's made up 3 positions on the start, so good job to Fitz. Nathan Doan in third, who's lost 2. Then Duncan, who's lost 1. Tuesday up 5. Great start from him. Baberto up to 6th. Rigraff and Cushy both losing positions in 7th and 8th. What a Yoke moves up 5 spots to go up to 9th. And Dan, Simon Colston, Notorious Jelly, Adao, Ranger, Joe Guron, who's dropped 11 spots, so it looks like he's our big loser off the start. And Marino, Buffalo Trace, Leopardus, and Bebry.
Oh, we have a Hasselt Ferrari battle going on right now. Me versus you. What a yoke going side by side with Rigraff. Rigraff concedes a position before turn A. That was a great move. Around the outside.
Looks like Dan's sizing up Rigraff as well, looking to possibly go around the outside. And he does. Rigraff possibly having some problems. Loses the spot to Simon Carlson as well. So I wonder, and Notorious Jelly. So I wonder if Rigraff has some sort of damage. And to Ranger.
Yeah, he had a bit of a moment coming out of turn 10. I'm pretty sure it was. But look at these Haas boys. P4, P8. That was incredible.
Great start.
We have a Fitz Dickwell P2 currently.
Yeah. Great start from both of the Haas's. Rigraff's wing seems to be intact, so I'm not sure what's happened there, but looks like Adao is trying to make a move now.
We have a Baberto, and I think Simon's on the softs. No, we have a Baberto on the softs currently. Fresh softs. I forgot that there's rain on the way, I've been told. So
yeah, that might be the move if the rain is coming soon, but anything more than 5 laps, and I don't know if those softs are worth it.
Simon Colson getting squarely into turn 5. Got Notorious Jelly on the back of him currently. Looks like these hard runners are really struggling with grip out there.
Definitely take a little bit to warm up.
Oh, we have Tuesday going to move for the Ferrari. Does he get the move done? What you'll get 3-second time penalty, not what you want to see at the start. Tuesday keeps a position of P4.
Let's see what kind of tires everyone's on. Mix between the mediums and the hards, and then Baberto and the softs. But if there's going to be rain coming, I'm not sure whether or not hards would be the best option. I think if there's rain, you might as well just put on the mediums if that's the case.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know what Baberto's doing.
As
what?
he's
Tuesday's
actually
around.
hit. I don't know if Roberto's hit him, and we've accidentally incriminated Tuesday by being on board with him while he resets the track.
We don't talk about that. Ooh. You gotta love the Haas boys. I mean, you've gotta help them out. They've struggled so long, so much the last couple of seasons. And this is, I mean, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, this kind of driver lineup in D3, that can help Haas like get into that, I don't know, a P8 position in the combined constructors. Like, this Haas driver lineup for every like division, it's amazing. Like, it's really shocking to see that we're still P10.
Except for D1.
I disagree. I think I've been bashing it out. Maybe my teammates had a bit of a struggle who has left the division. So I'm on my own.
Wow, as
which
Nathan
is
Johnson's
sad.
The fastest lap so far.
Yeah. So Fitz getting on the
Baberto.
back of Seb right now.
Roberto's just made a move on Cushy.
Ooh. Yeah, these two have had a lot of battles in the past.
And it looks like the Red Bull of Duncan tumbling down the order. Really struggling to get back going again, so all the way down into 19th, or 18th, sorry. Wonder if his wing is damaged.
Burnt all his battery, and that will probably not help him try and catch back up to Baberto. We have a top 3 right now, all in DRS zone. Fitz drained quite a bit of his battery as compared to Seb and Nathan. but he kind of needs to. As Jelly has a 5 second place, 5 second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place. That was against Tuesday.
Riding on board with Nathan Doan at the moment. 4 tenths. 4 tenths behind Fitzstickwell.
Oh, Joel's around. Joel kind of tapped Tuesday as Tuesday was getting a bit of a slide. I'd probably go with racing it, as I did just see Joel and reset to track.
Wasn't even caught on stream. You didn't have to say that. You didn't have to say it.
Yeah, but the guy didn't pick me as he said he would have. I mean, whether I don't look like a guy that should be picked P3 in the standings, but he still lied to me. It hurts deep down.
I'm sure.
Looks like what Yoke getting closer and closer to Cushy currently.
Yeah, and it looks like Tuesday actually getting very close to the back of Vidal.
There's a bit of a DRS train going on currently then. These AlphaTauri boys are on fire right now.
Yeah,
Cushy P5. We have not seen this in a very long while. Especially Fitzstickwell as well.
Right on board with Fitzstickwell. Is 27% battery compared to 75% of Seb and 75% of Nathan as well. So definitely using a bit more battery than the other two. But someone who's joined the fight is Baberto on those soft tires.
Absolutely. He'll be hunting down Nathan as quick as possible, but those soft tyres possibly going off right as we speak.
Yeah, and Nathan...
Jelly getting another multiple warning penalty. That'll put him on to 8 seconds.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful with
and
the
that's
penalties.
Adeo has span.
So we're starting to settle into the race just a little bit. Roberto really getting close to the back of the Ferrari of Nathan Doan. Those soft tires really working well for him. But how long can they hold up for?
Who knows? But looks like Nathan's going to go for a move for Fitz. And he taps Fitz, and it Fitz is around.
Oh dear, that's no good.
That will definitely be a penalty if he does ticket it.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see. You always want to see clean racing, instead of people pushing each other out of the way.
Yeah, 210 now going to possibly make the move on Fitz. No, he backs out with it. That's a good option there. Now we see Seb running away with it.
Yeah, and behind Nathan, Baberto, Cushy, and What a Yoke all very close to each other, so this could be a great fight for P2.
Yeah, something we need to keep an eye out is What a Yoke. Obviously with that 3-second time penalty, but I don't want to bring any negativity, but recently he will. Do I say it?
I have no clue.
I think he's going to spin later on.
Wow. Say
yeah,
that
I don't want to say it, but like it's just
teammate.
Like, from what I've been seeing from both.
Sorry to interrupt. Rangers made a move on Simon Costin to move up to P7. So yeah, made up 8 spots so far since the race has started, and that's what we like to see from Ranger.
Marino, 3 seconds. I completely forgot he's even in the race.
Very kind of you.
Yeah. Ranger's flashing, so that means he's under 10%. So he's definitely using that battery to catch up with Dan. Dan's losing time to what a yoke in the pack up ahead. Looks like Bebury's just spun around.
And yeah, it looks like Roberto's tires are starting to fall off just a little bit around the 8 lap mark.
Yeah, possibly. Or we could see a cushy P3.
Yeah, who knows?
Honestly, I
Cushy.
would love to see that.
Cushy, a ZRL veteran, been here for a very long
Yeah.
time. And has
The
always
old
been,
man himself.
yeah, he's always been a very consistent driver as well, too.
Consistently at the back.
Wow.
I'm
I
not
would say
joking,
that.
so.
But I think
That was what I mean.
he's been pretty decent high up in standings.
I saw to interrupt, but what a yoke's going to go for a move on Cushy. Moving under braking, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was just fair. I think he might have
Maybe.
moved slightly before. And it didn't seem to be in a dangerous manner, but it looks like Woody Yoke going for a switchback through turn 4 to get a better exit than Cushy did. Getting
Cushy's
right
got
up
no
to
battery.
the back.
Okay, that looks more like moving under braking in my eyes.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of a squeeze, but again, I think it's still fair. Great. I think, honestly, that's just good defense from Cushy.
Yeah, no, he does. Oh, what a yoke getting really got on the curb, the orange curb. You do not want to do that. No, Cushy's a very
That was Cushy's
defensive driver.
Yeah.
Which you want to see.
Right. Really does not want to give up that place. He wants to get third from Roberto, whose tires are definitely starting to drop off, now 2 seconds behind the Ferrari of Nathan Doan.
So it looks like Cushy may get the move done on Roberto. Right now, what a yoke will not be able to make a move on Cushy this time around, but Cushy can do the move on Roberto. Roberto using his battery. Cushy just staying behind him.
Yeah, Cushy only with 8% battery, so it's going to be really tough for him to make a move without it.
Oh, he gets a great exit there. What a yoke. We're using more battery. Gonna go for the move on Cushy. Oh, he goes for 2 moves.
They've all hit each other because of that. And Cushy ends up in front. Roberto gets past, but Woody Yoke stays 5th.
Yeah, I mean, the move was there. I don't
I don't
do
know
any
about
bias
that.
either.
I don't think the move on.
Oh,
Cushy's spun around. I don't think that move was on personally. Maybe a move on Cushy, but he just broke 2.
Oh yeah, on Cushy. But I think the thing with that is, I don't know. Maybe the lap before got his tempers up and just wanted to get past him. I don't know. But now we see both AlphaTauris struggling to get in the top 10, which is really sad to see. Because I wanted both of them to at least get in the top 5.
Yeah, they were just, both of them were just in the top 5, and it's really sad to see them down in 10th and 11th.
Yeah, now Dan's in the back of these two, and what Yoke's going to make the move on Roberto. Now, Roberto, I think maybe his engineers told him that the rain was going to come early, but it just definitely has not. Yeah. So now what Yoke's up into P3, really good for the Haas drivers. That's what Roberto getting a really bad exit through that turn. Now Dan's going to be making the move on Roberto. Roberto not giving up, locks up. Dan gets a P4 position, and Ranger's in the battle.
Well, yeah.
And this will be interesting to see what happens here.
Ranger sticking it out to go around the outside of turns 7 and 8. Great move from Ranger. Now he's up. Now he's up into 5th.
Okay, yeah, Roberto letting Simon through to catch up onto Ranger. And that is a Bebury around, something man, I miss this guy, man. I just want him back in D3 permanently.
Okay.
Only P19.
close to the back of
70
Ranger.
yeah.
He's gonna have DRS to attack and ERS as well. Definitely has an ERS advantage of about 10% on Ranger.
Yeah, the move is not here to be done
If he'd burned
for
some
now.
battery, it probably would have been, but maybe he just wants to stick behind. But honestly, if I'm Simon, I think that is probably the best chance to make the move.
Oh no,
'Cause
don't
now
get in 3
Ranger,
seconds.
yeah, there you go. Now Ranger's in the DRS of Dan, so he'll be able to use his own DRS to defend from Simon. It was
Oh,
just a bit of a
Ranger.
wobble. Simon trying to go on the outside to have the inside line for turn 7, and Ranger
Gets
just
the move
backs
done.
out. Yeah.
So those medium tires are going to be struggling also.
Yeah, pretty soon they're gonna start struggling. In
I'm
the
just going to see what
hard time.
Boberto does this lap. He still needs to pit.
I think, yeah, if the rain came a couple laps earlier, I think Roberto would have been on probably the best strategy out of anyone on the grid. But unfortunately, it looks like the rain is just not coming out yet.
And there's a Ferrari around
And that's
Regraph.
Rigraph.
Possibly Leo Critus tapping the back. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And Tuesday, draining that battery. Roberto just another lap. Ooh, I've just seen a raindrop. And I'm seeing plenty of raindrops now. And is this the time where we see the rain coming in?
Could be. Yeah, Tuesday just had a little bit of loss of traction as the rain starts coming in. So yeah, within the next probably 1 or 2 laps, I think we'll start seeing drivers pitting for intermediate or wet tires.
Marina around that is a P19, P18 Williams right now. And it's something you do not want to see with Garrett Elder. But as Williams have been flying this season.
I think this rain is gonna, or this pit window is gonna prove as an opportunity for a lot of people to make up spots, because it is so crucial to pick the right time to pit. You can lose or gain so much from it.
Simon's on the back of Dan now. So if he gets DRS this lap, and then the next lap DRS gets closed, that'll be crucial.
Yes, he's gotten DRS now.
Doesn't look like he's going to make the move on.
It looks like he's just
They still go as
behind.
pit.
I think that's just a little bit too early.
I want to see what he goes on.
I think there's still some grip left in these dry tires.
Yeah, I think one more lap. Yeah, he's on the inters. So is Roberto. And that looks like Dan's.
Yeah, Simon's made a move on Dan.
That's a great move.
Yeah. So it looks like these hard tires are starting to work a little bit better than the mediums now, but I think at this point it doesn't matter too much because everyone's going to be coming in soon for intermediates. We'll keep an eye on the delta of Fitz and Roberto to Marino. If they start gaining, then we know it's time for everyone else to pit, but as long as they're still losing time, everyone on the dry tires should stay out.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's wet yet. Could possibly go for it.
It's hovering around that 5.2, 5.1 second gap. Now 5 seconds, 4.8, 4.7. So yeah, it's time to pit. Or maybe not. Because now it's just hovering around that 4.8, but no. Yeah, I think it is definitely time to pit.
I don't know, we've had 3 laps now where
it's
stopped and Simon.
Simon, yeah, had a big wobble.
And it doesn't look like it's yet, like it's pit sprinters, I think.
The DRS is still enabled, but
No, I don't think it's ready. It just doesn't look ready yet. It's at the crossover.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? I mean, in Sector
I think it's
2,
that crossover point.
the Sector 2 is quite bad. Just looking on the track, like you can see like where it's starting to like you can see like the
Fitstick was,
puddles.
yeah, Fitstick was gaining on Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, quite a lot
Yeah,
actually.
through the corners.
So do we see
So
anyone pit? We do not
I
see
think
the
that's
top two
I think it's
pit.
time. No, the top two still stay out, but
So the top three, I mean, Simon's out. Dan is coming
Dan
in.
is in. I think that's the right choice. I really do.
We will soon find out. Now this is where the engineers come involved.
Definitely. And we see Duncan come into the pits as well.
Yeah, if we just maybe go aboard with someone around Sector 2. Just like Sector 1 looks fine. I feel like Sector 1 is where the tyres are, the dry tyres are coming more involved. And then Sector 2 is where like you're starting to see the puddles or like the wet damp spots on the track.
The track doesn't look super wet, but Fitzstickwell now only a second behind Buffalo Trace.
And we'll just see the gap with Joe and Dan as well. Dan's actually losing time.
Let's see if Nathan and Seb, either of them go into the pits. Seb stays out, Nathan stays out as well.
I honestly think it still dries.
I don't. I think it's wet. You have to look at the delta, not the track. And Fitz is right up on the back of Buffalo Trace after being 3 seconds behind.
Dan is losing time to Joel. That's what I'm just saying. So, I honestly do believe it still dries. Yeah, Dan lost 4 attempts at that. 5 attempts is round out. Tuesday getting another 3 seconds, I'll put him on to 6. He's on the... It's still DRS enabled.
Watch the DRS is a very good indicator of, when is a good time to pit.
100%.
Yeah, maybe this gap between Dan and Joel could be a bit more representative than between Fitz and Buffalo.
Yeah, I think it is, because Dan's now at 7 seconds when he was around 5.9. So, that is Duncan that's pitted again.
Interesting. Maybe he's got some damage. Or did he pit the first time onto a set of dries on accident, or on purpose?
Possibly.
Yeah, Dan hovering around that 6.97 second gap.
It does look like it's raining a bit more.
And there we go.
Yeah, and here we are.
Disabled. So are we going to see people start to come to the pits now? And there goes Ranger into the pits.
Yeah, Ranger's now in the pits, I think. Tuesday's now staying out for another lap.
Doesn't follow. Leopardus follows. Adao follows as well. Is Rigraff going to go into the pits? Rigraff decides to stay out. Joe Guron always has a good sense of what weather.
It is now the time to pit. It's 100%. Dan's
Marino
gaining time now.
Comes in and gets a 5-second penalty, unfortunately. Fitz stays out. Buffalo Trace comes into the pits. So yeah, you're going to see everyone start to pit now. I wonder what this will mean for our leaders in Seb and Nathan, who are quite far ahead of the rest of the field, I must say.
Yeah, this happened last night as well. The top 3 just ran away from the midfielders.
But Seb, they both stay out.
I wonder if Yoke now pits.
I don't know if that was the right call.
Yoke is now coming into the pits. I think
Simon
that's the right choice.
Pits. Notorious Jelly pits.
So how's he
Tuesday
doing a
pits
double
as
stack?
well. I don't know. It's close. They might be able to pull it off. We'll see. Riding on board with Tuesday.
Jelly's actually serving a 5-second time penalty, so that'll put Tuesday up into an extra spot.
Yeah, Tuesday actually did not really get held up. Maybe just half a second. But not a
Oh,
bad double stack from the Haas boys.
so Ranger gets out ahead. So yeah, that looks around. So Ranger actually pitted around the best time possible. So I wonder now if Cushy and Nathan, Seb and Nathan
It's time for them
come
to
out.
pit, possibly.
Cushy?
But
Oh no,
Nathan's
Cushy's
actually
on the
gotten
mediums.
very close to the back of Seb.
Oh yeah, maybe Seb had a issue. Yeah, this is definitely the time to pit now, and they both will be. Oh, Nathan
Nathan
stays out
stays
again.
out. That's
Oh
very interesting.
no!
It's a gamble for Nathan to do that, but maybe
Oh
it's a
no,
good
that
one to take.
that could have cost Mercedes a win. Seb parked. He braked super early, and he actually missed timing
Interesting,
in the
but if
pit.
this,
So
well, the thing is, if this overcut from Nathan doesn't work, then it might not cost Mercedes anything. Nathan and Rigraff, the two Ferraris, the only cars still yet to pit. We'll see if Rigraff decides to come in, and he finally does.
he's definitely into us now. Yeah.
So let's ride on board with Nathan. The gap between Nathan and Seb, 25 seconds, and I believe that's about the length of a pit stop, if I'm not wrong.
Tuesday getting another 3-second time penalty. Dale and Cushy going at it right now.
Notorious Jelly so far leading the penalty
Over
standings
the
with
half slow.
14 seconds. Tuesday with 9 seconds. So Notorious Jelly is really gonna have to watch out, and I believe he's nearing disqualification.
Oh yeah.
So let's see who will come out ahead, Nathan or Seb, and by how
I
much.
think I'm gonna go with Nathan.
Well, we'll see. The Ferrari pit crew puts on the intermediate tires. Nathan back out into the pit lane.
I'm gonna change my answer.
Seb crossing the line.
Yeah, it'll be it's gonna be Seb by
And
a
Seb,
huge margin.
yeah, by a very large margin.
What a
Has
yoke
made the
now,
undercut work.
possibly back into the game. That undercut or overcut, I mean. Oh no, undercut. 3.3 seconds.
Yes, Seb has pulled out a 3-second undercut on Nathan. And Seb has the knowledge of the wet grip. Nathan doesn't. Notorious Jelly getting close to the back of Tuesday, approaching turn 5. There's a bit of a train that follows with Cushy Adal Leocritus included.
That gap with Nathan and What a Yoke is actually coming down.
Yeah, and the gap between Nathan and Seb is shrinking. So Nathan just not on the pace at the moment. Just doesn't know where the grip is. He hasn't had the lap to learn where it is, as opposed to Seb and What a Yoke.
Looks like Cushy possibly making a move on Jelly, but Jelly gets a really good exit. Now, oh my god, that Tuesday is super wide. Now Jelly, this will give Jelly a run. Down to turn 1. He will get the move done. Now, does Cushy come involved? No.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a
Tuesday
bit too
does
far back on
tries to
this
fight
occasion.
back.
That gap between Woody Yoke and Nathan and Seb is really just shrinking and growing. Nathan losing time to both of the drivers around him. But we know, even if Woody Yoke catches up to Nathan, we know how difficult it is to pass in intermediate conditions. You really just have to force the other driver into a mistake.
Oh, Tuesday going really wide at the last turn. So yeah, Nathan's now got 3 seconds through that sector. Seb, possibly a back-to-back wins if he keeps it like this, and Dan P6, that'll be a really good result for Mercedes. But Dan does have 3 seconds. If he can't catch up with Ranger, gain the 3 seconds, and looks like it could be wraps. Was that a Ferrari around? Or was that a Williams?
I'm not sure. I believe it was a Ferrari rig wrap. Because he wasn't 15. But I could be wrong. And there goes Marino around as well. So we're back into 15th. Woody Yoke's now starting to lose time to Nathan as Nathan is learning the conditions a bit more. And Tuesday going strangely wide and getting.
I don't know. Jelly was going wide, and now he's on 17 seconds.
That's what I meant. So everyone's starting to settle in a little bit. Gaps opening up. Except for this 7th, 8th, 9th position. Really close racing between the two, and provisionally Cushy takes the cake and moves up to 7th on penalties.
Yeah, it looks like Tuesday's now getting quite a big gap compared to Jelly. Simon getting a 3-second time penalty. This could be helping Ranger to get that P4 spot.
Yeah, Ranger is now going to be pushing to get into that 3-second. It's 3.3 at the moment, so he's getting there. And there goes Tuesday around.
Oh.
Last corner. Tuesday has gone around, unfortunately. They just put on too much throttle. So now Cushy's
That's kind of annoying.
And Leocritus moves up into 9th place. Gets past the Alpine of Adal, but they're fighting again. Adal barges his way through again, and Tuesday capitalizes as well. But Leocritus fighting back through turn 4. Tuesday has the outside line and just pulls out ahead of Leocritus to take 10th spot. But here goes Fitz Dickwell down the inside of Leocritus as well. Leocritus just able to keep the position. Only one in this 4-car battle. doesn't have any penalties.
And Tuesday's now just hit into a Deo, making him spin. And kind of embarrassing to watch right now. If I was the Haas TP. But it looks like Nathan's bringing that gap down to Seb's. It might not be enough at the end of a race.
Yeah, 6 laps
Um,
left. I think it's hovered around that 3.3-ish gap for quite some time, but 6 laps isn't too much as the Leocardis makes another move down into turn 1. And there goes Fitzdickwell into turn 3 on Tuesday, trying to go around the outside and just makes it stick. So it looks like that outside line into turn 4 is much better than the inside one. Now Fitzdickwell trying to go around the outside of Leocardis, just finding that grip around the outside, but Leocardis doesn't have as far to go. And there goes
Fitz is
Fitz.
gone.
Fitz is around. I believe did he hit the orange code?
I believe him and Leo Crichton was having a bit of a battle.
Oh jeez.
I wasn't really looking, but I know they were side by side.
Pushy's still on the tail of Notorious Jelly, trying to salvage some points and get a recovery drive. Based on where he originally was, he's actually doing pretty good so far with what happened, and he's making a run down the street, neck and neck with the Aston Martin. Nothing in it between these two. It's just who is braver on the brakes, and it looks like it was Cushy.
Really good move by Cushy. He's having a solid race today.
Yeah, if you think about it, if Cushy didn't get unfortunate towards the start of the race, where would he be now?
I'd say around the P6 spot.
I think he'd be higher. I think he'd be P3, P4. No,
Some
it's
Willie McLaren around right now.
yeah, McLaren and Roberto.
There's a house around with Leo Crichton, so that's Tuesday again. Another incident involving with him. Day to forget once again. I mean, he's currently P11.
No, it should be noted that there is very likely a penalty coming Nathan Doan's way for his earlier contact with, I think it was Cushy, and we'll see what kind of penalty that
Fitzdickwell.
could give him. Oh, it was Fitz? My bad.
Yes.
If that's 5 seconds, then Nathan's in a good spot because he does have a 6-second gap to Buddy Yoke in third. So he would retain his P2 position. But he's closing on Seb quite quickly as Tuesday decided that he's had enough and retires into the pits. Notorious Jelly on 20 seconds of penalty. I believe one more time penalty and that's a disqualification. Joe Guron. It's probably Joe Guron and Nadal is for the only battle that we really do have on track currently, and it's very close. Joe Guron technically would still get ahead on penalties, but he wants to make that move stick on track. And I mean, why wouldn't he? You know, it's always better to make the move on track, and it's more fun that way too. Just 2/10 behind the Alpine of Vidal. Couldn't get a move into turn 5, wasn't close enough on that occasion.
So Nathan's bringing that gap down.
Yeah, now 2.2 seconds.
There's a Williams off. So Marino? It is Marino. Also now for a Romeo off. Looks like Leocritus. Yeah, so Tuesday retired when he was P11.
Right.
I don't know what to say about that, but
Okay.
I would like to find out why he retired. Will issue possibly.
Did complete 90% of the race, do you know? Because he still gets points.
Yeah, but he's P11. I mean, a full-time driver, you get max points.
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm sure Beamer will, but Nanchavetti will have a word with him or see what was going on up with him. But the other part of the garage, a Haas in the podium.
Yeah, even with the penalty, Simon Colston 9 seconds behind, and with the penalty of his own, Woody Oak stays third. So definitely really something to be proud of for all the Haas boys. Had a bit of a moment just trying to get better traction than Nadal and ends up actually losing time. Nathan Doan trying his best to get close to the back of Seb, but just a lap and a bit to go. Doesn't look like he'll be able to get anything done.
This could be interesting. Because this could maybe put Seb on the pressure right now.
Yeah, I mean, overtaking in the wet really is just a lot about putting the driver in front under some pressure.
It's now 1.1.
.1 second gap, 1 lap to go.
Another Williams off.
And Nathan Doan almost loses it.
So yeah, that'll be done for him.
Yeah, that's probably his chances over for the win. At this point, it's just a matter of taking it home. Interesting to think what would have happened had Nathan Doan not decided to try an overcut on Seb. Because it seems like he's had more pace than Seb in the wet conditions.
No, Seb's been phenomenal today. We ain't seen much about him, neither with Nathan, but this is Seb's win. 100% deserves it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, excellent start. Really just led it the whole race with class. And Seb to come across the line to go back to back and win here in Portugal in Division 3. Nathan comes across P2. What a yoke to come in P3 to round out your podium. So podium for Haas. Very exciting stuff.
Very. I'm happy. I'm pleased for the man. I'm sure Inan will be happy with that. Ranger with a P4.
Ranger P4 finish, actually. I'm not sure that's happened. I believe on penalties. He's jumped Simon. So excellent recovery drive from Ranger.
Oh yeah, cushy P7, a really great race for him.
I wonder, Torres Jelly probably going to drop quite a bit after his penalty.
Oh, Joel Guran, P8.
Joe Guran, another driver with a great recovery drive. Regraph moves up to 10th on penalties. Overall, very good weekend for Mercedes, who finished 1-6.
100%. Who's in the booth? Seb, Nathan.
Seb, Nathan, and what are you? Yep.
I'll let you do the interviews for today, because it's your first week back.
Oh, thank you. So
Get Nathan down in the call.
Yep.
Oh, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the booth, Nathan. Really solid showing from you, qualifying on pole by quite a big margin, I think around 3/10, and coming home to finish 4/10. There we go, and coming home to finish P2. Are you happy with your result?
Not really.
No.
You know, I've been second for too long, and it's just kind of embarrassing at this point.
He's having my treatment from last season. Too many second places where you get fed up of it. You just want to be on the top step of a podium. I know how it feels, Nathan.
Yeah, like second is the first loser. Does it really feel that good in the end to finish second? Not really.
Well, it's really good that you have the ambition to finish first every race that you can. So you had an incident earlier in the race with, I believe, Fitzdicklow. Would you like to tell us what happened there?
Yeah, so it was a really weird one because I backed out pretty early, and there was no sound or like, feeling of contact, and he just slowly spun around. So I'm wondering if maybe it was, he hit the camber of the corner or something, but I don't know. I'm not gonna put myself at fault for that.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. I'm trying to think if I have any more questions. In the Drivers' Championship, currently you're leading. I'm actually not sure whether or not you'll be jumped by Seb.
No, Seb had 44 points. I was at like, no, I think I'm still.
Yeah,
Leading.
I think you might be as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Any final thoughts to share before we move on?
I don't know. Just saying that, Baku's going to be a hard one, so hopefully Seb can take advantage of that and win. But, thank you guys and good job to Seb today.
Yeah, thanks Nathan so much. What Tommy said congrats. Really strong result from you, even if it didn't feel like it. So congrats, man.
Yep. Bye.
Take care. All right, now we have Seb in the booth, your Division 3 winner of the Portuguese Grand Prix. Seb, how are you feeling tonight?
Pretty good. I was definitely under a lot more pressure than I was in Abu Dhabi. And after how disastrous my quali kind of went, just super unlucky with that, I'm really happy with the result.
Yeah, definitely. You had a very showingly dominant race today, getting that better start than Nathan to jump him into turn one, and then getting a nice gap out and really holding it throughout the throughout the whole dry part of the race, and then during the wet part of the race, you made the decision to pit a lap earlier than Nathan, and ended up paying off. You got around a 3 second undercut on him, and
Yeah, and I
really
mean,
held it from there.
yeah, pitting a lap earlier than we did too would have been better. It was basically as soon as we went into turn one, the track was too wet to be on dries, so Cushy picked a really good lap.
Yeah, because she actually did have a very strong race today, despite an unfortunate incident earlier. But despite you saying you pit the wrong lap, I mean, it all worked out in the end. You got the win back to back. Now Baku up next. Is that a track that you like?
Well, we'll see how much the walls like me, but it is one of my favorite tracks. Nathan definitely showed a lot of pace today. The team did great. Major, who was engineering for us tonight, the new Mercedes engineer, I mean, he was the one who made that call for the Inters, so I really owe the win to him. And Dan finished P6, and when he's just been absolutely screwed over in the past two races, I'm really glad that he's getting to show the pace he has.
Yeah, really good for you to be a team man and to be happy for your teammates finishing up in a high position. Overall, really strong showing from Mercedes today. And hoping that you can continue in D2 as well. Any
Yeah.
final thoughts to add?
No, just that it was really good racing from everyone, and we had no safety cars at Portugal again, which I was kind of surprised about.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's quite a big distance to the wall, so maybe that
Quite a
could
lot of scary corners, though, so I
that's
figured it
true.
would balance out to one, but none, so I'm pretty happy with that for the whole division as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I as a league we've gotten very clean, so it was something to be pretty proud of. But congrats, dude. Really strong showing again, and we're looking forward to watching you race next week in Baku.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care, man. All
All
right,
right.
I believe I don't think Murayuki is going to be joining us,
Nope, he will not
unfortunately.
be here for today, so disappointing for that. But yeah, that's D3 done. We got Division 2 in like 10 minutes.
Yep, Division 2 in a bit. Make sure to like, subscribe, do that, do your thing. D2 in about 10 minutes. Go cheer you on for your favorite drivers, your favorite teams, and both me and Fred are gonna be we're gonna be driving in D1 tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to come check that out as well. And that's it from us. Take care.